Hey guys, Penny here from Monaco Nail Academy, and over the next few minutes I'm going to be showing you how I would recreate these nails by Leah. This video was requested by one of our students, Kirsty from She Nails It, and I think I'm going to use this particular request to show you what I would do to do multiple nails in a full set that have completely different elements. So I think that's something that slows a lot of people down, is getting confused between what to do when, or trying to do one whole nail and then another whole nail. So let's do a few of these and see how the steps line up. First step on the first nail, and I need a base for my glitter to stick to, so I'm using one coat of Artistic Color Gloss in Gorgeous. First step, second nail, and all I'm going to do is try and get the base black onto the back half of the nail, if that makes sense. I'm sure it'll make sense as you see me do it. I'm just not going to worry about too many of the details. I'm just trying to get the bulk of the polish on, bearing in mind that if this was on a real client, I would have done and cured the base coat, the base gel, or the artistic bonding gel is what I would use. And so I'm painting directly onto that, although because I'm painting onto a wheel, I don't need that. The main thing that I want to double check is that the points of my triangle are even. If they're not, then I need to adjust them now before any of this gets cured. First step, third nail, is just an easy total coat of black. I'm using Artistic Color Gloss in Swag. And first step, fourth nail, that's going to get difficult soon, is a full coat of Artistic Color Gloss in Bride. I'm curing that entire set just like I would with a client. Pop the whole hand in for 30 seconds. While that's happening, pop into the comments and tell me which nail you think is going to be your favorite. Alright, they've all cured, and the second step for the first nail is going to be glitter. So Leah runs OMG Beauty Solutions, and they're a distributor for Licente, so I'm guessing that she would have used a beautiful chunky gold Licente glitter, but the only one that I've got is this Young Nails gold, which is a lot finer than what it looks like Leah used, but I got a whole heap of these as part of a prize pack several years ago, and I can't justify spending lots of money on new things if I already have something that does the job, so I will eventually get round to trying out some chunky Licente glitters, I'm sure, but in the meantime I'm going to use this one. So we don't need a whole second coat of the base gold colour to get this nail done. The glitter is going to cover most of it. The gold is there as an adhesive pretty much. The gold gel polish, that is an adhesive, and also kind of just to fill in the gaps and make sure the whole thing looks even. So I'm going to put my gold glitter straight into the inhibition layer of this gold gel polish. Sorry, losing my words a little bit there. And to do so, I'm going to use my trusty pigment and glitter brush that I always use, old and a little bit ratty, but that's why I like it. It holds lots of glitter. Normally working on a real client, I can very easily shield the other nails from all this glitter with my own hand, and we're just going to have to hope for the best with working on a wheel. I tend to use my own finger to press the glitter into the nail plate as firmly as I can, and then bearing in mind that I can't shield the other nails today because it's on a wheel, I will still go in with a manicure brush, and you can be really rough to get all the excess glitter off. We don't want it floating anywhere that we don't need it or don't intend it to be, so once you have pressed in with your finger and you've really leveled it out into the inhibition layer, you can be quite rough taking all the excess off and then top coat it and all those sorts of things later, and you won't really have glitter staying going into your bottles or in the brushes. Now I want a smooth surface to be able to paint the detail over later, and I could achieve that by doing something like correction gel, the clear correction gel. I would normally do it with actually bonding gel, which is a little bit of an odd choice, but it's the nicest to then paint on top of, which is why I would choose it. However, In the interest of trying to get that little bit of chunkier glitter effect that Leah got with these nails, I'm actually going to do a coat of artistic color gloss in Glamorous. So it's a chunky glitter, but it's quite sheer. It would take several layers to layer it up and get the same impacts that we're going to get by layering it over actual pressed glitter. It's more designed to be like an overlay, like an accent, adding glitter to a color, than to be a full color on its own. But it's still going to add a little bit of chunk to the look for us, while leveling out the surface and giving us something nice to paint on later. Second step, second nail, is to do a second coat of our black base with leaving our negative space still. And I'm thinking that this second coat of black will actually be enough to cover those few glitter specks that got into the inhibition layer when I wasn't able to shield this nail. Let's see what happens. Second step on the third nail is just to do our second coat of black, and same again on the last one, a second coat of our color gloss in Bride, the bright white. So let's do that and then cure the 4 nails again together. The next step on our gold glitter nail is the black triangle. Now you could dry wipe the Glamorous, the glitter gel polish layer that we did. You could dry wipe it using a clean dry brush just to roughen up the surface a little bit, make it a little bit less slippery and easier to paint on. But because we are outlining this black triangle in white, I'm not too worried about whether or not the black triangle bleeds just a tiny bit over the course of me doing the artwork, because I'm going to outline it anyway. I've got that opportunity to tidy it up again. So in the interests of doing my client in as an efficient time as possible, I'm just going to go straight in with doing the black triangle, still using the artistic color gloss and swag that I used for the other nails. On the next nail, I am up to lining out the cross. Now I want this first vertical line to be quite thick because it's going to have the gold down the middle of it as well. And the horizontal line much, much thinner. Now I could get single coat coverage with those if I used a gel paint or an acrylic paint, but because I've already got the gel polish out, I personally just tend to keep going with what I've got unless it's really not going to work for the job that I'm doing. Now we've got some detail to add with white. It's not so important with an abstract nail like this that if you are taking inspiration from someone else's design, thank you Leah, that you get it exactly right. But in the interest of getting it close, we want a thick horizontal line coming in this way, and I'm painting from right to left even though my natural tendency is to go the other way, because when I've got the most product on my brush I want to put it where it matters least, which is the edge, because here is where I want very little product on my brush so that I can get nice sharp corners. We've now got some fine lines to do with the white on the third nail and a little bit of dotting to do with one of our stylus tools. And then I'm going to stop and cure these 3. I know I didn't make it through all 4, but the goal is not to push yourself through all 4, the goal is to work efficiently. And with a little smidge of a bleed starting to threaten with the white polish on the third nail, I'm going to take this opportunity to cure and then to move on to the 4th nail. One thing I always do is continue to work in order, so just because it's coming out again doesn't mean I start back at the first one. I still want to keep all nails at the same level of done. So I move on to the 4th nail at this point. That's just how I work. Now with this nail we've got the black, which I see as an outline, the gold, and then the marble. you can do it in any order. Art is art. You can do it however you want and there's no such thing as wrong. But the most efficient way, I think, to do this nail is to do the marble first and then to line it. Just so I don't have any risk. The gold and the black can go over the marble. The marble can't go over the black, if you know what I mean. So I want to make sure that I get the marble in roughly the right place. So what I'm actually going to do is outline that triangle in white. The white's going to disappear, but I'll be able to see it while I'm working and get the marble into the right place. I need to get that marble to cure before I can do anything else because I don't want it running, I don't want it changing. So I'm going to pop it into the lamp and then come back for a whole nother run at all the nails. I want to do a quick second coat on the details of the first two nails, so let's do that first. And then here's how I'm going to do the white one. I'm skipping nail number 3 for a second because all it needs now is some gold foil, and mucking around with gold foil while the other nails have wet gel polish on them, too risky. On a client I probably would, but not on a wheel. We'll cure those thick black lines and then do another pass over all 4 nails. Now, the closest thing I have to the gold foil that Leah used is actually a rose gold, so it's not going to work completely with this design, but it's what I've got and you will still learn the technique at least. So I'm doing the gold foiling on the 3rd nail first off the bat because I know that I can get it done, have that nail completed, and then work on the others rather than getting into the same predicament that I was in the last go round where I'd done bits and pieces on the other and it was too risky to do the foil. So let's do that first. All I'm going to do is hold it matte side down, color side up, and just press onto the nail where I want the foil to land. A little bit got onto this nail, so all I'm going to do is use a brush damp with monomer to just erase it basically. Alright, so then we go back to the start and all I've got left to do on this first nail is the white outline. On this one, I think Leah used striping tape, which I hate, but we all know I hate it and we're going to do it anyway. But I do want to just sharpen up that crossbar. I wish that I had used gel paint for it so I could get it a bit finer, but let's just sharpen it up anyway. This guy is totally finished, just needs top coat, and this one needs that gold. So hopefully you've worked out what I'm doing. Instead of me mucking around outlining the gold, I have done the outline already and now we add the gold. So I have my striping tape, the world's fiddliest nail art product, and I have cut a tiny little arrowhead in the very top, just like the angle that you see on Leah's work. I'm going to lay it in place. And I'm going to use clear correction gel to hold it in place and then file the excess off the edge. The only thing I'm still not happy with without just before top coating is the glitter that's still showing in the back of this. So I'm just going to quickly do a 3rd layer of black in just that area and then cure that. Then all 4 will get top coated and we'll be done. How do you think I did? I'm pretty pleased with them. I don't love the one that has the striping tape. Even though I love the look of striping tape, I just find it's so fiddly, and yeah, I don't love that one, just because I don't feel like I ever do my best work when I'm also trying to incorporate striping tape. My favorite one, I think, is actually the one with the foil, even though it's completely the wrong color metallic for the set. I really like the look of it, and I think I'm going to try and show it off to a few of my clients once lockdown is over and see if they'll do the same thing. So let me know down in the comments which one is your fave, and especially if it lined up with the one that you thought was going to be your favorite at the start. I'd love if you gave this video a like and subscribe to our channel, because of course it supports what we're trying to do with these videos and gets them out to more people. Tag me on Instagram or Facebook at Monaco Nail Academy if you spot something you'd like to see me recreate in one of these videos, and until then, I'll see you next time.